Close your eyes and imagine your loved one being unable to walk, unable to see, and can barely breathe, let alone speak. Their life was well lived all those years before. They are now in such unbearable pain they can't even cry. They can no longer complete simple tasks on their own, and there is no way they could function without assistance. They think and feel as if their life has no meaning. Although you and your family are trying to support them, you wonder, could ending their life be the answer? Well, in all reality, this is not something anyone needs to imagine. But this is a real situation for many people. These people should be able to make their own choices and have control of their own lives. Fellow Canadian citizens, I am here to talk to you about the controversial issue of euthanasia and why I believe this act should be the patient's decision and should be legal in Canada. Euthanasia is about giving people the right to choose how they want to live and die, and it also stops a person from having a bad quality of life. First of all, deciding if you want to be alive or not is a very personal decision. Neither the doctors nor the government has the power to decide if you should live or not, since it's not their life and they're not in your situation. They cannot make that type of decision for you. It has been argued that for people on life support systems and people with long-standing diseases causing them much pain and distress, euthanasia is a better choice. It helps in relieving them from their pain and misery. In cases like terminal cancers, when the patient is in excruciating pain and when people associated with them are also put through massive amounts of pain and misery, it's much more practical and humane to grant the person his or her wish to end his or her own life in a relatively painless way. Everyone has the right to choose how he or she wants to live and die. Their decisions lie with them, and the people hold their own key to life. No one else can decide for you how you live. If one wants to go for euthanasia and he or she is mentally stable, it should be granted. Also, the basic reason why euthanasia should be practiced is because it stops a person from having a bad quality of life. Having a patient suffering is not giving him or her a better quality of life. When doctors reach this point, they should be allowed to grant the patient whatever he or she wants, since he or she cannot offer something better. Even if they could offer something better to the patient, the treatment options could cause more pain in his or her life. We pay doctors to do good for the patients, so he can do the best he can. Helping us in having a better quality of life is something a doctor should do. The kind of quality of life is defined by the patient, not the doctor or the government. Consequently, when the patient feels he's not getting the quality of life he wants, the least the doctor can do is grant him what he wants. If the patient's decision is to die, so be it. Who can say your life is not worth living anymore? No one. But you can decide on this matter. Life and death is a personal decision. Your family, friends, doctors, and even the government cannot help you decide. Death is a final decision, a final destination. Euthanasia is necessary to be legalized. Think about it. Euthanasia is about giving people the right to choose how they want to live and die. And it also stops the person from having a bad quality of life. If I were diagnosed with a terminal illness, incurable disease, or faced with an accident that requires me to stay in a hospital bed for the rest of my life, or being hooked up to a machine for the rest of my life, I would definitely turn to euthanasia. What's the sense of living my life anyways? Why not end the suffering if I have the power? Why would I prefer to be a burden to my family if I'm not living the quality of life I want? The best thing the doctor can do to me is grant my final wish of dying with dignity. Now that the facts have been presented to you, would you consider euthanasia as an option?